Welcome back to this workshop on entering a community. Remember, when you get started, you involve other churches and then you identify the needs. In this case, the next step we're going to talk about is finding Indigenous solutions. We also call this local ownership. And the purpose of this activity is to get participants thinking about the local churches in the community, owning the piecework, and seeing it as their own. Our objectives are participants will understand the importance of empowering the local churches in the community to own the piecework and not rely on an outside group. Participants will understand the importance of local ideas and the use of local resources. And participants will understand that the local church control of a piecework leads to long-term sustainability after any outside helpers leave. So first, you're going to read the first part of the mountain story and then stop and discuss the story. So here's the mountain story. There once was a village located on top of a steep mountain. On a regular basis, as people were coming down the mountain, they would slip off the trail and fall to the valley below. A number of people were injured and some even killed. A visitor came to their village, saw this problem, and wanted to do something about it. He thought what he could do and then decided that the best thing would be to station an ambulance at the base of the mountain. Therefore, when a person fell, a driver could rush with the ambulance to pick him up and bring him to the closest hospital 10 kilometers away. The people in the village were excited about this idea. One day the ambulance broke down, but the people ignored the problem until another person fell off the trail and needed the ambulance to be taken to the hospital, but there was no transport available. They then became very concerned and went looking for the outsider who had put the ambulance there. They complained that his ambulance was broken down and wanted to know why he didn't keep the vehicle in good repair. He fixed it for them. However, the same problem happened several more times, again with the people coming to the outsider wanting him to sort out the problem. The outsider finally decided there were too many repairs required on the vehicle, and he didn't have the money or time to keep fixing it. He told the people it was their problem. He had tried to help but could no longer help. And the people felt sad about this but did nothing. They were now back to the place where they had begun. Now, at the beginning of the story, the people saw there was a need but did not do anything about it. Why do you think the people in the community did not act to resolve the problem? What were some of the problems with the visitor's solution of using an ambulance? And why was the ambulance not a long-term solution? So I want you to stop right now and discuss those three questions. Okay, part two, read the next part of the mountain story, and then you're going to stop and discuss the story again. Here's what you read next. Representatives from the district office came. They saw the problem and said they wanted to help. The district decided that what was really needed was a clinic at the foot of the mountain, so if someone fell, they could get immediate medical care. The district then built a clinic, provided equipment, staff, and drugs. The people were very happy that those who fell could now get immediate attention and not have to make the 10-kilometer drive to the other clinic. This worked well for a while, but eventually those working at the clinic wanted some time off, so the district was left unattended. The people went to the district and complained about the poor service that the clinic was providing and said the district had to give them better care. The district put in extra staff to cover during the holidays. Several times the clinic ran out of drugs and the people complained about the poor care the district was providing for them. The district ran low on money and had to stop some of their operations to conserve their money. They decided to stop staffing this clinic and providing drugs for it. They shut it down. And the people were very angry with the district. So here are some questions to answer. What were some of the problems with the district's solution of establishing a clinic? And what was the real problem in the community that the community faced? Why didn't an ambulance or a clinic address the real problem? Why do you think the people were so willing to embrace the visitors and the district solutions even though they did not address the real problem? So take some time and answer those questions together. The people didn't know what to do. The two ideas which outsiders had done for them, the ambulance and the clinic, were no longer available and working. A local church leader in the community said, "Let's meet to talk about the real problem." They looked back at the original idea, which was to somehow take care of those who fell off the path as they were traveling up and down the mountain from the village. The two solutions helped somewhat, but there were problems with each solution. As they talked, the church leader said, "I had an idea when we first talked about the problem, but no one would listen to me. The outsider was going to do everything for us for free. My idea would have taken some work and resources on our part, so no one was interested in what I had to offer." He then told him his idea, which was to build a fence along the trail to keep people from falling over the edge. It would take work on the part of the people to cut the wood for the fence and to put it up. It would take mobilizing many of the church members and their resources to put the fence posts in cement so they would last longer. The people responded with, "That's a great idea. Let's do it." So they had church members bring wood and cement and began to work. After several weeks, the work was done. Now when someone slipped, the fence stopped them from falling over the edge to the valley below. After a few years, the wood began to rot, but instead of going to an outsider, they went and fixed the fence themselves. Now instead of looking to the outside for help, they began to look to God and their own church for solving the problem. This one project gave them confidence that they could do things for themselves. Now when someone from the outside came to give them something, they said, "Thank you. But if we think it's important, we'll do it ourselves." So here's some questions to answer. Who is better equipped to identify the real problem, the outsiders or the people of the local church, and why? And what role did the local church play in helping people identify the real problem and a solution that addressed it? What steps did the people take in developing the solution of building a fence along the mountain path? What happened when the fence began to rot a few years later? What do you think the people will do next time there's a serious problem in their community? So let's stop and let you answer those questions for just a moment. Fourth, the facilitator reviews the main points this story teaches. Local churches are better equipped to identify their community's problems and provide solutions than are outsiders. Prevention is better than cure. The fence is prevention. The clinic and ambulance are cures. What people do not do for themselves, they do not own or take responsibility for. Once churches complete successful work within the community, they'll be motivated to address more difficult things for themselves. Capacity will be built so that they will not need outside help. So now take some time to address this first issue of identifying indigenous solutions.